Okay, first off, I was not planning to make any videos until after school was over, cause we're now in crunch week and everything is due real soon. However, I watched the April 2nd Nintendo Direct and it was just too good not to talk about it. So here I am talking about it when I should be doing work. Since I had class right at 9 a.m. EST, I knew I would be watching this in class. So right when I got into class, I hooked up my laptop at 8:57 and got ready to watch it. Luckily, my class was real chill and my professor decided to let it play on the big screen, so the whole class could watch. So I'm just gonna skim through the direct again and talk about some things. I'm going to play the UK version of the video because of certain things that will come up later on. First up, Mario Kart. Honestly, when I saw the Yoshi sign, my immediate thought was a new Yoshi game? But no, of course it's Mario Kart. I'm really interested in the new maps. I saw a retro looking Donkey Kong map, which was really cool, and I just like the overall vibe and color palette of the whole game. But let's be real, everyone popped off at this moment, where the frickin' Moo Moo Meadows cow was playable. Like, literally, that was the first thing that I was like, I have to tell my friends. Oh my god. But yeah, the new grinding on rails and anti-gravity jumping mechanics is really cool. There were customizable outfits, and it's interesting that they didn't call it Mario Kart 9, but it's like a whole new thing with Mario Kart World. I also just like this background map that reminds me of a Super Mario Overworld map. And then not only that, you can have free roam, which I assume you'll be able to traverse this entire area. And that's just really cool. Okay, but this part when they talk about the rain is a really interesting idea. And I'm not sure if they've done it before, but having slippery terrain would be a cool feature. Since in real racing, specifically Formula 1, one of the strategic elements of the race is deciding on what kind of tires to use to accommodate the weather. I've always wanted Mario Kart to have a pit stop system where you actually have limited fuel and you'll need to make a pit stop to refuel, and maybe even have a timed minigame where you have to refill and readjust the tires in time just like real life. I don't know, that'd be really cool, but maybe not something you would see in Mario Kart. Also, having the Grand Prix being connected is pretty cool, and I already see a ton of new characters. And then, there's even more information coming soon, April 17th. Either way, it's going to be a fun time, and no doubt I'll be getting it and playing with friends. So it's around this part where the Nintendo of America version of this stream is where the audio started to lag with the visuals, but it was a pretty slight lag, so I don't think many people were bothered by it. But anyway, the C button. This feature is kinda cool. The screen share is nice, and you can even play different games. The frame rate is abysmal, but it's not too distracting. And then we get Nintendo Switch 2 camera, which is literally the Kinect. I have absolutely no reason to get it. But other than that, there's actually a lot of new features that the Switch 2 has, and I don't even know if it'll all work out. It sounds genuinely too good to be true. 120 FPS, bigger screen, HDR, high resolution, bigger internal storage, new dock with a built-in fan, backwards compatibility, and the new mouse feature, which is honestly pretty nice. I know people have been very vocal about the controller snapping into the Switch via magnetism, but I kinda don't really mind it, though I can't be certain because I don't know how flimsy that little piece on the Switch is, but I do miss the rails thing that the original Switch had. It felt more secure than just snapping it in. I probably won't use the voice chat, and even if I did, it would just be between friends, so I don't think it would matter the quality that much, as long as it's decent enough to use at all. The new stand is nice. I just think the original Switch had such a useless stand. I really like the bigger joystick and side buttons, because I really hated that in the original Switch. And then they introduced this welcome tour thing that feels like Astro's Playroom, until you realize it's a paid game, and that's really dumb. Then finally June 5th, the release date, which is not too far actually. But back to games. Jamboree TV. It's basically Mario Party Jamboree DLC, and the camera feature is just a cute gimmick, but definitely not something I'm gonna buy a whole console for. Breath of the Wild Switch 2 version looks pretty good. I think it's hilarious to imagine Link in the wilderness with his trusty GPS to lead him into every chest in Korok Seed though. But then, Kirby and the Forgotten Land gets even more content. Like, damn, I kinda want it. I really love that game. Kirby still looked good on Switch, but there were pretty noticeable frame rate drops in the background. As for Metroid Prime 4, I think it was safe to say it would be on Switch 2, so no surprise there. But I am really excited for Pokemon Legends ZA. It's literally my most wanted game right now, so it's possible I get the Switch 2 just for this game. See, I was going to make an all-encompassing video about the past few Nintendo Directs after school ended, but here we are, so I'm just gonna say it all. I'm super hyped for this game. I'll admit I'm not crazy about everything being in one city, and we have wild area sections, which seems like you do most of the catching there. With the new ranking battle system, I can see that they're going to focus more on trainer battles, and while I think it's super cool and kind of smart with the way they use Z to A, I'm also not crazy about battling, and I'd prefer the Pokemon Go like vibes of just going into the wild and catching Pokemon and going on adventures. On the other hand, I do like the move to more real-time battling. I find that more engaging than standing around and clicking buttons. Speaking of buttons, the Pokemon moves are now mapped to each button instead of the usual list of moves. I'm not sure if you could do that before, but the UI is definitely different. And with Mega Evolution, which I've always thought was the coolest gimmick, it'd be so awesome to see it in action with the new battling system. I also really hope they come back with those boss battles, because that was one of my favorite things in Legends Arceus. As for starters, none of them are really my favorite, but I'm gonna go with Chikorita because I think it's cute, and I would love to see what new form it has when it evolves. Also, I'm a defender of Chikorita because I liked it in the anime and I always thought it was cute, and Meganium is cool and pretty. For the characters, none of them really stood out to me. I think I'm more interested to see the old characters come back. From the previous trailer, it seemed like Looker and or Emma will return. I also think Professor Sycamore will be back, assuming we're still in the future. Like, it hasn't been that long, right? But the one character that is unlikely to appear again, but I really want to see, and that's my guy, Lysander. And now I realize in English his name is pronounced Lysander because we can't speak French, I guess. But anyway, since the previous trailer, I've been pretty obsessed with XY again and have been binging the entire XY anime. Currently halfway through XYZ. So yeah, this game has been on my mind a lot, and seeing how the graphics actually look much better on the Switch 2, I may very well get it for this game. But we will see. Moving along, we got more ports to Switch 2, Hades 2, Street Fighter 6, Daemon X Machina. This might actually be a new game. Split Fiction, Sports, Hogwarts Legacy, Tony Hawk, and then some SpongeBob thing. There's Hitman, and then a new James Bond, which is pretty cool. Then we've got Bravely Default, Yakuza 0, Borderlands 4, and Civ 7, which is cool because I just bought 6 on Steam. After that, Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. I haven't even finished Tears of the Kingdom, nor have I played the previous Hyrule Warriors, so it's gonna take me a while to get there. But I like that it builds up the lore, and the music still gets to me. And then finally, GameCube games! Starting with Wind Waker. I'm also excited for Pokemon XD, and honestly everything in this list. You can even get a wireless GameCube controllers, so that's pretty neato. This part took me a while to get, but then I was like, oh, it's Deltarune. I literally just started playing Chapter 1 because it was free on Switch. I hope it's finished, but I wouldn't be surprised if they kept going. And then I honestly feel sorry for these games because we completely skipped over them since the Nintendo of America stream lagged so bad and it froze and like everyone was just confused and it was F's in chat. It was kind of crazy. Then when it came back on, it was so out of sync that it was just a mess. We ended up skipping like 4 games. And then some of them were indie titles, so hopefully you can see them here, how they were supposed to be. After that, it was the run through of all the other games, and then hey look, it's Silksong, completely unmentioned, and just, you know, over there, release year and all. The new Professor Layton looks great though, lots of casual games I'm interested in. And then now we finally get to the end. At this part, I was definitely thinking Silent Hill, but I knew it wouldn't be a new game since they kind of already just got one. But I was thinking it gives me Lies of P vibes, and then I was like, vampire vibes, Castlevania. And then here, I was like, Bloodborne 2? But nothing looked familiar, so I kind of assumed this is a brand new game. Then it's revealed, The Dusk Bloods, 2026, exclusive to Switch. My class was actually huge into FromSoft games, so we were all like staring intently at the screen and then popping off. But yeah, that's crazy actually. It's just banger after banger, I don't know. But then it keeps going. I thought it ended there, and here I was like, oh, is this Mario? But no, it's Kirby. And then I was like, Smash? And then right here, I was like, no way, it's Kirby Air Ride. And then it was. And I was like, oh my god. And I was like, Kirby Air Riders 2025, directed by Masahiro Sakurai. I also just like that this text was stylized like his YouTube channel. Very cute. I also completely forgot Sakurai mentioned that he was working on a new game. So now it's revealed that this was the game he was talking about. I remember my childhood dentist lobby area had a GameCube with 2 controllers that permanently had Kirby Air Ride, and that was my only experience with the game. But whenever I went to the dentist, I always hoped that there wouldn't be anyone playing it so I could play it. And then I get sad when I get called into the dentist and have to stop playing. But good times. And then there's still more. It's finally revealed to be a new Donkey Kong game. And this one, I kind of had a feeling because people really wanted a new Donkey Kong game. And yeah, it seems reasonable that there would be a new one soon. It looks really good. Open world, Odyssey-like Donkey Kong is a pretty cool concept. I like that you can destroy basically anything in the game. I also kind of like the new Donkey Kong look. It looks more like his classic version, and I don't know, it feels a little nostalgic. Like we're going back to the roots. And I love how expressive and cartoony the animations are. Also, looking at the video again, I realized the Donkey Kong model is the same one in Mario Kart. And yeah, that was it. Overall, crazy actually. It was also nice that I could watch it with the other nerds in my class. Personally, I'm really excited for Legend ZA and Kirby Air Riders. Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza, I'm probably gonna get them anyway. No new 3D Mario, but Donkey Kong kinda counts. I would really like a new 3D Kirby though. It'll probably be a while, but I'd be hyped. Then there's a lot of ports, but then we have the price, and it turns out it's really expensive. Not that I didn't expect it with inflation and just all the technological upgrades that the Switch 2 has, I can imagine it will go a lot higher than the Switch 1. Still kinda sucks, but not gonna lie, I think I'm sold on it. And there you have it. Did you enjoy the direct? Are you excited for any games? Comment below and tell me your thoughts. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and click the thumbs up. If you're interested in more videos like this, feel free to subscribe. After these next few weeks, I do plan on dedicating a lot of time to making new videos. I especially want to finish the Anime North videos that I have planned, especially since I'm going to be tabling at Anime North again next month. I also really want to talk about One Piece, since it's going to be airing again real soon, and then some other videos about school life and art stuff. So thank you for watching, and bye for now.